welcome back to my channel. I thought I would just sit down with you guys today and drink some iced coffee and do a little Q&A because I feel like it's been a while since we've just sat and chatted. I'm usually like managing multiple small humans while I'm talking to you, and it feels a lot like a mom play date where you like say one thing and you're like, oh, hang on honey, don't put that in your mouth. Sorry, what were you saying? We're gonna have some one-on-one time. So grab your coffee, your tea, your matcha, whatever you like to drink, and let's just chill out. So as usual, I asked for your questions on Instagram because that's the easiest place to compile them. If you're not already following me on Instagram, I'll leave my little handle right here so you can if you want to hang out. I do more day-to-day updates over there on my stories, and I love chatting with you guys in DMs. You guys always come through with the questions. I am so grateful. I will try to get through as many as I can before my kids wake up. What's the tattoo on your arm for? I always see it, but I never know the meaning. So I think she's talking about, well, I know she's talking about because I only have one tattoo on my arm. This little tattoo right here, and these are poppies. They are for California, where I grew up. It's a very special place in my heart, and I also just love floral tattoos. So it's like partially symbolic, but also partially I just thought it was pretty. Does Rowan have tantrums? He seems like he's always happy. He definitely has tantrums. I think that can be something that is kind of misleading about parenthood content creators, and it's not because we're trying to be fake or only show the good parts, but when your kid is having a hard time, you don't want to shove a camera in their face. That feels incredibly invasive. So I don't film when he has tantrums, but I do try to mention, you know, like, oh, Rowan was just having a hard time or whatever. Recently, he learned that he can just scream at the top of his lungs when he doesn't like something, and that was a fun 3 days. We try to do a lot of gentle parenting stuff, and I think is going to be really good for our kids as they grow up. I think that it will provide them with a lot of really good coping skills and really help nurture their confidence. But man, it is draining when your kid is screaming at you and you just have to be like, I know this is really hard for you. It is okay to be mad, but it is not okay to hit me. And just like maintain that level of calm. I will say, I think overall he is a very easy toddler. He was a really hard newborn, but we really lucked out with him in the toddler stage. But of course, every kid has their moments. How many days did sleep training take you with both kids? Both kids were 5 days. Rowan was actually 1 day, and then he slept through the night the next night, and then 1 day, and then he slept through the night the next night, and then 1 day, and then he continued to sleep through the night after that. Juniper was pretty much 5 nights in a row of working on it with her, and they both got it, and it's been one of the best things that we've ever done. How do you have time to do all the DIY, baking, content creating, etc., and be a stay-at-home mom? Well, first of all, I have to acknowledge my amazing in-laws because my mother-in-law is over at least 3 times a week unless she's traveling. So I have a lot of time to work because of that. I definitely am not doing it all on my own, and I wouldn't want you to think that I am. But I think it can also seem like I have more time to do hobbies because I'm lucky enough that my hobbies are also my job. So like if I'm doing a DIY project for a video, I'm able to do that during my like work hours, which is really great because I get to double dip a little bit. That being said, the flip side of that is that sometimes it can feel like I have to do everything on camera and that my hobbies become more work than they are fun. So it's tough to keep that balance, but I think that's why it seems like I do so much like free time activities or whatever, because I'm also vlogging it, but you don't actually see the work part of it where I'm like setting up the camera at different angles. You just see the final product. How do you do bedtime with the 2 kids? Similar ages here, always a disaster. Matt and I always tag team bedtime, and he will do Rowan's shower while I do Juniper's bath, and then we kind of like divide and conquer. So while she is eating and I'm getting her in her pajamas and sleep sack and everything, he is putting Rowan's jammies on, getting his teeth brushed, and then her bedtime routine is done before his bedtime routine. So I'll put her down, and then we'll all reconvene in Rowan's room for reading him a book and singing him his like nightly songs, which are many. So yeah, definitely a team effort. Do you do a dream feed with Junie? I do. So her like general schedule, obviously it changes a little bit every day, but in general we do 7:30, 10:30, 1:30, 4:30, 7:30. Or like her like awake feeds, and then I do a dream feed at 10:30 p.m. Something you wish you would have done before your transition from 1 to 2 kids. Definitely finished all of the home renovations that we wanted to do because it is so much harder with 2 kids, and our bathroom has been sitting undone for months and months and months, and it's like not even really usable right now, and I have no idea when we're gonna have the time to pick it back up. So I wish that we had closed out that chapter first, but that's okay, it'll happen. How did Matt propose to you? This is a sweet question. So I really love Tangled, the Disney movie, and that's always kind of been like our movie together. So we went to a lantern festival in Las Vegas where everybody sent up floating lanterns, and there was like tens of thousands of them. And right after they all went up, he got down on one knee and popped the question, and it was so beautiful and special, and I definitely cried. It was really sweet. Akatar-like book recommendations, at a standstill and need help. I love the Marionette series. If you like more YA okay, a little bit less spice. The Cruel Prince is a great one. Kingdom of the Wicked, From Blood and Ash, Throne of Glass, if you haven't read Throne of Glass. You probably have if you've read ACOTAR, but oh my gosh, so good. I have a whole category on my Amazon storefront with the books that I am reading or have read and would recommend, so I will link that down in the description so you guys can see that. Do you have any plans to homeschool your kids? No. I think when people do homeschool, it is really cool. I applaud those people so much. I personally don't think that I'm cut out for it, and I want my kids to get the best education humanly possible. I do plan to supplement with like some homeschooling activities at home, which is kind of what we're doing as Rowan goes into preschool next fall. He is all signed up, so excited about that. So I will do 1 day a week where I do like more preschool homeschooling activities with him, but I don't feel like I am equipped to give them the best education possible, so they'll be going to regular school. Are you transitioning Rowan's room to a toddler room soon? Yes, we actually hoped to do that this week, but the toddler bed that I'm buying for him is a Facebook Marketplace find, and the person had to move the pickup date. So I have to schedule a new time to get it because it's like a 3-hour drive away. As soon as we do that, we will be transitioning him to a toddler room. But we were really lucky that he never tried to climb out of his bed. Like even now, he doesn't even try. It's awesome. Would you mind showing us your iPhone home screen app setup? This one's so fun. I would love to do that. Yes, I will do a little screen recording for you. So I used Widgetsmith to make this because I'm all about a cute aesthetic, and I wanted this to be very cottagecore. I do change this seasonally because I'm a little extra. So I have like a fall theme and a Christmas theme, but this is my like spring and summer one. So I just have like a little pretty cottagey photo that I found on Pinterest as the background. I have a few little photo widgets here. I have one of Juniper. Rowan is my home screen. And then some quilts, a little basket on a bike, just things that make me happy. I made these app icons from scratch. They are in my Patreon digital downloads library if you want them, but there are plenty of programs that you can use to get aesthetic covers. And basically the way that you do it is you create a shortcut and use that shortcut's cover photo as the app's cover photo, if that makes sense. I'll try to find a tutorial I can link below that explains it a little bit better. And I just have all of my most used apps on here. The first 2 pages are very pretty, and then the 3rd page is just like not aesthetic in the slightest. And then I obviously have a bunch more apps, but I have them in my app library. I have this app that every time I open Instagram, it makes me take a deep breath, and it has been so great because a lot of the time I'll like open Instagram just from muscle memory, and then this app will pop up and I'll be like, wait a minute, why am I even opening Instagram? And I close it. But when I'm doing something like this and I actually need to open it for something like for work, it can be a little bit annoying. It's called One Sec. It's pretty great. Are you in your forever home? I don't know. Forever is a big word, and I'm not sure that I could like really commit to anything forever because I don't know who I'm gonna be in a few years. But as of right now, we have absolutely no plans to move. We love this house. We love being near family. We have plenty of space here, so I would say it's probably more likely than not, but I can't hold myself to that, so I'm not entirely sure. What are some of your comfort movies, TV shows, and books? Okay, I'll pick one from each category. Comfort movie, Pride and Prejudice, and also the soundtrack. So good. My comfort TV show is Parks and Rec. Comfort books are probably Harry Potter. How are you doing mentally? Thank you for asking. That's a very sweet question. I'm doing okay right now. I feel like I am at a bit of a crossroads in my life where I am making some big changes going forward, especially like I said with work-life boundaries, and I've been feeling a little bit burnt out recently. And then also with recently getting an ADHD diagnosis, that has just been like paradigm shifting for me, but in a good way, to where there are so many parts in my day where I will do something and then be like, oh dude, like that's my brain searching for dopamine. And so I'm really gaining a deeper understanding of myself. So a lot of stuff is changing right now, and I think it's equipping me to have better boundaries going forward, but any transition can be kind of rough. So I'm not doing badly. I'm not like in my thriving era, but I would say I'm just doing okay. Do you like your butcher block countertops? Yes, I will never go back now. Butcher block countertops are so nice. They don't show dirt like our old white quartz ones do, and they're a little bit more durable. You can just sand out stains when they happen, and I love the cottagey look, so highly recommend. What are some things you're looking forward to doing with your kids as they get older? I think the biggest one for me is crafts. I mean, Rowan can like put stickers on something or color something in, but like doing real like art projects with them as they get older, I think it's gonna be so much fun, like little clothespin fairies or making our own little stuffed animals, or I don't know, that's gonna be really fun for me. What's your biggest insecurity? Probably my nose. I have a very hard time accepting my nose, which I know is silly because it's just a very surface level, shallow thing, but you know, those Eurocentric beauty standards that want you to have like a teeny little button nose. I definitely don't have that, and I struggle with that sometimes for sure. Best piece of advice for not losing yourself in motherhood. I don't know that I have advice for this because it's hard, and I definitely feel like there have been times where I felt kind of lost in motherhood, and the way that I look at it is that this period of my kids being really little and needing all my attention all the time is gonna go by so quickly, and there will be a time when they're in school and I have more time during the day to do things for me and rediscover myself. But that's just not what the season in life is. I think making time to see your friends and accepting help when you can so you have time to still do things just for you, like, you know, hobbies, sports, crafts, whatever it is that you love to do is probably a good place to start. But like I said, I'm in the thick of it with you, so you're not alone. What's something you wish people knew about you but that you don't get to talk about much? This is a fun one. I've got to think. Ooh, a lot of you probably don't know that I was obsessed with musical theater for years and years and years. I absolutely loved performing on stage. Some of my favorite roles that I got to do were Cosette in Les Miserables and Wednesday in the Addams Family musical. But yeah, I don't get to do that very much anymore with the kids, and even before that with the pandemic, but I miss performing on stage.
Mother always said be kind to strangers, but she doesn't know what they destroy. I can feel the clear and present danger when she learns that the boy in my life there are times when catching was silent, the silent faraway song, and it sings all I long to see.
Was it harder or easier going from 1 to 2 kids than 0 to 1? I would say that for us, 0 to 1 was definitely harder. And I've talked about this a lot, but Rowan was a really difficult newborn and Juniper was a very easy newborn. So I kind of chalk it up to that. But it's definitely a big transition to going from 1 to 2, because with one kid, you can kind of like find moments to do your own thing when they're occupied. But when there's like 2 little people who need your attention, you basically just get like nap time and bedtime. But yeah, 0 to 1 is an entire lifestyle shift where you go from it being all about you and what you want to do and your goals to like all about this other tiny person, and you're in a completely new role. So I think 0 to 1 was harder for me, but I totally get it when people say that 1 to 2 is harder. What are you most looking forward to about being a girl mom as Juniper grows up? I think a lot of my parenting between Rowan and Juniper will be the same, because I don't necessarily think that like certain activities are for girls and certain activities are for boys. Like, I hope one of my kids wants to do dance classes, and if Rowan wants to be, you know, a ballerina, or I think a male version of that would just be ballet dancer, or Juniper wants to be like whoever wants to, that's great. I will say that based on Rowan's current preferences, he will probably continue to have short hair, and I am hoping that Juniper will want long hair. So one thing that I'm really looking forward to is styling her hair, because I have very thin hair and she will probably not, just because of like genetics, and Matt has thicker hair and Rowan has thicker hair. So I'll be able to do more things with her hair than mine, and I'm really excited for that. What do your days truly look like on a non-filming day? So my non-filming days are either my just 100% momming days, or if my mother-in-law's coming over that day, my computer work days. So regardless of which one it is, I don't have makeup on, most likely. I wish I could get to a point where I would like not wear makeup in the vlogs, but I'm a little bit too self-conscious and like working through that. I would say the days are slower, a little bit calmer than when I'm filming, because when I'm filming, I'm like trying to fit a lot in to vlog about. But if I'm having just a mom day, it'll usually be like I'm taking Rowan to the library for story time, or we're just playing in the backyard, or we're going to Target to pick up groceries. And if I'm doing a computer work day, then I'm just on my computer answering emails, doing phone calls with brands, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's do one last question. Do you ever get vulnerability hangover from sharing so much of your life online? Yes, absolutely. It is rare that I film a video that I'm like, okay, I didn't overshare at all in that video. Like, I always turn the camera off and I'm like, I hope that wasn't terribly cringy. I hope people don't find me annoying. Like, I have a lot of social anxiety, even just like about the camera, let alone like conversations that I have with people in real life, which is like a whole other beast. But yeah, it can be weird figuring out what to share and what not to share. And I think one of the hardest parts about doing this as a job is sometimes when I'm filming, I hear people's mean comments in my head before they happen, if that makes sense. So like, I'll be showing my outfit or whatever, and I'll hear somebody in the back of my head be like, oh my gosh, your shoes don't match your top or whatever. Like, stupid stuff, but also like parenting things, like why is he eating that? That's too much sugar, etc. And so that can make me feel very anxious during the day when I'm filming sometimes, because I'm constantly like trying to avoid those mean comments. And I think what I've learned very recently is that I just have to stop doing that and do what I'm gonna do and realize that not everybody's gonna like it. And that's really, really tough to do. Thank you guys so much for your questions. If you have any more, feel free to DM me on Instagram. Like I said, I always love chatting with you guys on there. But that is gonna be it for today's Q&A video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.